Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the NFT Friends podcast. I'm here with Selvey. What's up, Selvey? How you doing?
What's up, guys?
All right, so today
What
we're
up,
gonna.
Fig?
Oh, yo, what up, man? All right, man. Dude, so we're gonna be talking about passive yield NFTs. Again, no financial advice here. We're just talking our opinions. Well, mostly Selvey because he's a pro in this. Well, not a pro,
Nah, I'm
but
not.
he
I'm
have
not.
more knowledge than me. That's what I'm trying to say. So we're just gonna go ahead and start it off, dude. So let's talking about what are passive yield NFTs. So what are passive yield NFTs, Zoe?
So they're the same thing as NFTs, I think. Well, what we talked about in the first podcast,
Yeah.
except these specific NFTs that we're probably going to talk about today, they earn you passive yield. There's like some sort of utility where they create this token for you,
Uh-huh.
and then from that token you can go ahead and liquidate it for other cryptocurrencies or even into fiat. So basically it is kind of passive income because they are inherently worth actual money. So you can
Okay.
actually make passive income by just holding some of these NFTs.
Okay. Okay. I see. So it's gonna be more like over time than just straight up, right? From what I'm saying?
Yeah, so most of these NFTs have a mechanic, like a 24-hour mechanic where
Uh-huh.
they give you a certain amount of tokens.
Okay.
And based on the amount of tokens, you can then go ahead and sell them or exchange them for like Ethereum. And but yeah, I mean it's pretty basic. It's the same thing as an NFT, but it's just like something a little extra on top of it, which
Okay.
is very interesting to me right now because holding NFTs in itself, like
Mm-hmm.
in kind of this bull market, they tend to go up if you're holding like the right ones. But if they're also creating some passive income, then that's also a way of creating money. And you don't have to sell these NFTs in order for you to get some liquid out of them. So,
Yeah. Okay. I see what you. So you're getting cash instead of the other way to make cash is basically selling the NFT, and in this case, you don't have to sell it to get money out of it, right?
yeah, it encourages you to hold NFT for longer, I would say, just
Yeah.
because you're not incentivized to liquidate it. Because for most NFTs that don't offer this, right? In order
Mm-hmm.
for you to see any of that profit, doesn't matter if you bought it at $10 and it's worth 10,000. If you
Yeah.
haven't liquidated anything or you haven't sold it, then you still basically have nothing. So this is like a form of like, well, you can liquidate it,
Yeah.
but you don't have to necessarily sell it, so you don't miss out on the upside if there is any more upside for that NFT.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. So, what are some what are some entities that are offering this passive yield, this extra income?
I wouldn't say there's too many, but a lot of NFTs are starting to dip their toes in it.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I would probably the biggest case right now are is cyberconks, just
Okay.
because the amount of money kind of they produce. They give you this banana token. So these
Mm-hmm.
cyberconks, they produce ten banana tokens per day.
Yeah.
I believe at the time of this recording of this video, it's $42.
Ooh,
$42 per token.
that's good.
So you're looking at $420 per day because it produces 10 tokens per day.
Damn.
And yeah, I mean that's a lot of money. That's more money than most people get in their jobs, you know? Because
uh, dude,
yeah, you're looking at like
that's up like to 5 times or even 6 times of what the minimum wage would be like in a day if you work 8 hours, for example. That's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. I mean, you don't make that money in most jobs, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and for you to just passively make this by
Mm-hmm.
doing inherently really nothing, I mean, that just sounds crazy to me. There's other projects that are obviously getting into this. One of
Uh-huh.
the other projects that kind of invested in, I don't know if it's invest. I wouldn't call NFT investing. I would call it like speculative gambles, right?
Yeah.
Just because I can't say like you can never like, oh, like whoever made this NFT, like can't hold them accountable. Nothing in the space is regulated, so
Yeah.
everything I would say is more of a gamble than an investment.
Mm-hmm.
But this project that just started, which is called Anonymize, um, I was able to buy 5 of those NFTs,
Uh-huh.
and I think also this time they produce what's kind of different. These only produce one token per day.
Okay.
It's called Sheath,
Jeez. Okay.
and each one is worth close to $50 right now. So if I have 5 of them, that's $250, which
Mm-hmm.
is nothing to scoff at, right? As well.
Yeah.
So I think, especially for this project, it's a good opportunity just because you don't have to put such an investment
Mm-hmm.
to get kind of the same return as you would in a cybercon. So in a cybercon, you have to dish out somewhere around 100 Ethereum, which is close to 300,000, if
Yeah.
not more, you know?
Yeah. That's a lot.
For these mice, I
Mm-hmm.
only paid uh probably somewhere around $60,000 worth of Ethereum,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting half of that. So I'm actually getting like an $150,000 value when it comes to cybercons with
Mm-hmm.
only a $60,000 investment.
Yeah.
And obviously you can get more, and let's say if you get 5 more, you have 10 mice that
Mm-hmm.
you're looking at right now with the floor somewhere around 120, $130,000 investment, but you're
Okay.
producing the same passive income as a cyber con. So you get the same passive income for basically less than half the price.
Okay.
Um, and other projects like Cool Cats, they're starting out to, well, I'm pretty sure the token hasn't come out, but
Yeah.
there's this milk token that's gonna come out for Subducks. They came out with their own token, which is, I believe it's called Volt. They produce somewhere around $15 a day, which can go up because this is just recently, I believe this recently just started for them. So there's definitely a room for the price to appreciate as far as the token. And there's
Okay.
the utility that's still to come, so that can definitely help with the price.
That's
And I've seen other smaller projects. I know I didn't mention all of them, but those are probably like the ones that I have in my mind that are
yeah.
producing these like this type of income, and it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
That's actually very interesting. So there's not too many because it's just starting off, right?
If there is other ones, they're not too in the limelight. I know there's like smaller projects. Like there's, I think this project, I'm not sure if I'm gonna botch the name, but it's like Wicked Ape Club, I think.
Okay.
That produces $5 a day. I forgot what it does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, projects are starting to kind of adapt this because they see that for cybercons, for example, right?
Yeah.
I believe before the token or before the utility and everything, they were around sitting around 2 to 4 Ethereum, you know?
Yeah.
And once they started making that token for the holders and then
Yeah.
bringing utility for it, the price shot up in a month. It like shot up to basically 50 Ethereum, I believe.
Yeah.
And then right now it's obviously sitting at 100. So I think a lot of projects are trying to, maybe not copy that, but they're seeing the value of bringing value to the holders,
Yeah.
which is, yeah, because in the NFT world, it's very tempting to sell, when you make 2 times, 10 times, 50 times the profit,
Mm, yeah.
even though you might be in love with the project, if you're sitting on a stack of cash,
Mm-hmm.
you also, it's a way to like, it's risk mitigation to sell because you're like, okay, I love this project, but I don't know, like if my ape is worth $300,000, like, how am I ever gonna see the profit of that if I'm never gonna sell? Like,
True.
um, but but yeah, I mean, there's a lot happening as far as that, and I think there's a lot of projects that are gonna adapt this. Adapt this like
Yeah.
part where there's passive income, but I think it's like everything. Um, the first couple of projects that do it
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that are kind of gonna succeed.
Gonna take off. Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't mean like just any NFT can do that and it's gonna be worth something. So
Makes
yeah.
sense. Oh, by the way, if anyone doesn't know what Ethereum is basically a cryptocurrency, and that's basically what a lot of these NFTs are bought with and or traded with. Right, would be the right word. Um, so how do we invest in these passive NFTs or these passive yield NFTs to be exact?
So it's exactly the same how you would invest in a normal NFT, which is basically getting a MetaMask, putting some Ethereum in it,
Mm-hmm.
going on OpenSea, and yeah, I mean, what usually developers do is they offer like a website, so you can connect your MetaMask to that website, and it'll tell you like, oh, you have accumulated this amount of tokens. You can pay a gas fee to claim those tokens, or you can just let them sit there. Obviously, it's always better to like let them sit there till you get a good amount of them. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to pay gas fees, every token that you get, because then you wouldn't make any money.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, it's just how you would buy a normal NFT, you would buy one of these these other NFTs that are doing this kind of thing where they provide passive income.
Okay. Could you explain to me what the gas fees are?
Well, Ethereum works. It's kind of hard to put on technical terms, but
Yeah.
look at it this way: like, let's say you want to get a transaction through, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right now with Ethereum, there's only a certain amount of transactions that can happen at the same time.
Okay.
And because of that, if you want to skip in line for your transaction not to take hours, or even sometimes it can take days, or the transaction can also fail, you have to kind of bribe the miners, which are
Uh,
I wouldn't say people, but the machines that are,
the bots, yeah. Right?
yeah, that are verifying these transactions in the blockchain, and you have to bribe them, and the only way to bribe them is by paying more transactions. But yeah, you basically, for every transaction that you do through Ethereum, or you buy one of these NFTs, there's always going to be a gas fee. That only happens like as far as bribing when there's a lot of people trying to buy one thing at the same time. But usually, if the gas isn't so high, it's duly because there's not a lot of transactions going on, and you can just buy a NFT, which is, I don't know, what's the simplest way to, like tax or something, I don't
It
know,
would be
or maybe like an
I'm trying to
escrow
sell it.
service.
Yeah, it sounds more like a tax or like you say, escrow service, but like it's more like a
Yeah,
it's just a fee that's gonna be there. It's like a more I see it more like a service fee for me. That's how I
yeah,
understand it better.
it's a service fee. It's supposed to get a lot better with Ethereum 2.0, and that's like another fork of Ethereum that's going to come out. It's supposed to fix that at least. And yeah, a lot of people can't wait because there is a lot of money being like lost
Lost
because
because
of these gas fees. Yeah, it's insane. I would say even for me, I've
oh
paid somewhere close to a stupid amount, like probably like 15 or 20 thousand dollars in gas fees.
oh
And
damn,
that's just fucking insane. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
that's wild. Damn, man. Well, hopefully that gets fixed. But that's interesting, and thank you for explaining, man. That actually That was actually a good explanation. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and what are some recommendations that you're gonna bring up? I know you brought some up, but like, which ones do you really recommend that people start investing into of the passive yield industries, of course?
It's it's hard to recommend any because, well, obviously I can only recommend if you have actual like a lot of Ethereum or money to burn. Just
Mhm.
because most of these projects are pretty pricey now. You know,
Okay.
Cyberkongs, $300,000 to get in is nothing to scoff at. Like
Uh,
nobody just has that much Ethereum or that much money just laying around to invest that type of amount. But if you do have Ethereum and you've been flipping NFTs, you've been part of basically this kind of ecosystem within this world.
mhm.
The only project right now that I would recommend is probably the same one that I invested in. Um, just because, like I said, I think for investing a lot less, you're getting um a good amount, you know? Like even if you buy one mice, $50 a day,
Yeah,
it's not too bad, right? That's like
that's
$1,500 maybe a month.
not
That can
bad.
pay a rent, you know, that can pay some bills, that can cover your going out expenses for sure, you know, like
Mhm.
um it's kind of I mean, it's $15,000. I wouldn't say it's crazy expensive, but I know that's also out of the price range for a lot of people. But if you've been in the NFT world, you understand that that's not so much just because people make a lot of money in the
Yeah,
NFTs. So um,
and it would be
maybe if yeah, you can work your way. You can definitely work your way. You don't have to start with one of these passive
yeah.
incomes, but you educate yourself. If you buy into the right projects, you can definitely flip your way into one of these in a month or
Okay.
even less. So
Yeah. I mean, 1,500 a month is wonderful. For my case, it would really help with the bills and whatnot. So that's a
yeah, with
that's
anybody, yeah. That's not I mean, even if you have money, $1,500 just getting that for free, like,
yeah.
you know, that's for me, that's nothing to scoff at.
True, true. I see. That's interesting, man. Like, there's so much going on, and this market changes so fast. Like, I had no idea about anything about this until you brought it up today, and I was like, whoa, that's something new I didn't know about.
Yeah,
And I'm barely
yeah,
learning
it's
about NFTs, and then we're taking it to another level now. What were we gonna say?
yeah,
Go
and then
ahead.
like I said, yesterday, well, I bought this car and the license plates were not paid for like half a year, right? And being
Oh,
in
damn.
fucking California here, you know, the new person that purchases a car needs to pay basically the late fees, right? So I was looking at somewhere around $900 just to get the license
Yeah.
plate for that car. And I was like, fuck, like, you know, I have the money, but I didn't really want to spend it. So what I did was I basically got the tokens that my mice were
Yeah.
creating, and that's how I paid it, you know?
Yeah.
And that was to me the proof of concept, like, oh yeah, this kind of works, you know? I had
Mm-hmm.
a pretty $900 is just nothing, you know. It's quite a for me it's a nice amount of money. And for me to just be able to liquidate that with something I just had accumulating there that I got for free is
Yeah.
pretty sick. So that definitely got me excited about the space.
That's the way. It sounds like you're like, oh, I need money. Well, just sell the tokens real quick instead of selling the whole NFT at that point, right? Or trade the tokens.
Yeah, yeah. Like okay, like it kind of costs. Well, it feels more like oh fuck, you know, I just these $900 that I made for my job instead of like oh I know the hours that I had to put in to make those nine hundred
Yeah.
dollars. you could be like, oh well, fuck it, I have $900 worth of this fucking token here. Let me just go ahead and use that and be able to be able to turn that into real cash and see it in your hands. Seeing the $900 is something that is quite amazing because I don't think this is definitely something new, man. I don't know where it's gonna go, but it's super fucking interesting.
Yeah, that's why I would advise. This is my opinion. Just throw money that you are willing to lose, because this is a market that we don't know nothing about yet. We know so little of it. Even like the people that would call themselves experts don't know what's gonna happen like with this market in 10, 20 years, right? Like it's like so much speculation, as you said earlier.
Yeah, it's speculation. A lot of people like to try to be gurus in this fucking space. Like there's a lot of influencers that like to pump their bags or tell you what to invest in.
Mhm. That's crazy.
I mean that's great. I mean being an influencer does give you the momentum of like getting behind a project and sometimes pumping that, but at the same time nobody's a fucking expert. Nobody knows what the hell's actually going to happen. Nobody can predict the market. Nobody can predict what's going to happen in the project. Nobody can predict if a developer is going to fail you. Nobody can predict if you're going to get rugged one
Yeah,
day, which means the developers just they cash out on whatever they made through that. And just say fuck you guys.
yeah,
So nobody's a fucking
a guru.
nobody can hold the financial advisor title in this space. You can definitely get opinions from people, but you always have to be speculative of every opinion and then just gather information from different sources and then formulate your own opinion. It's always better to go off of your own guts than to ask some fucking
Yeah,
influencer of what should I invest in.
definitely agree with that.
Yeah, because even some of these influencers, they're just fucking disgusting people.
Oh,
They'll tell you invest in this, they'll pump their own bags, and they'll just dump on you.
yeah,
And
and we're
then
not.
you're just left there holding a bag. Huh?
Just to be clear, I want to say we're not talking about anyone specifically. I don't even know many influencers, but there is a lot of influencers that just use these projects to pump and dump. That was a big thing with the cryptocurrency, where they just uh hype up this thing, but they sell right away just to get their profit, and that thing usually plummets. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's.
so the
Go ahead.
no, no, what was that? What was your question?
Oh, I was just gonna say like what. So does that really is that like a big thing in the NFTs as well? Because I know that happens a lot in the cryptocurrencies
Yeah,
side
of
of things.
course. Of course. It's the same people that were moon boys or pumping their own bags or the influencers that were doing the same thing with cryptocurrencies. They're seeing the same opportunity in NFTs. Now, not everybody. Obviously, there's influencers, there's people, or just normal people, right?
Uh huh.
That really love this space, that really love this technology, that are just fascinated with the implications, what you can actually do. And a lot of people have genuine opinions, but if you hear somebody say like, "Oh, I know what the hell I'm talking about," like, or they're like really trying to be this fucking guru or like I know what the hell this where this project's price is going to be in the future is it's definitely yeah. It's
Be
just be
careful.
very be very fucking careful because at the end of the day you're using your own money. It's like they're not giving you any of their money for you to.
Yeah, for you to invest.
So yeah, if you're gonna lose money, you're gonna lose your own fucking money. So for me, I try to just gather information from a lot of sources. It's not that I even ask questions. I don't ask nobody jack shit. I just watch videos. I watch posts. I watch Discord, like the community, how they talk, how they feel about the project. I like to just sit back, listen,
Okay.
try to watch what's going on, and then I'll make a decision. Okay, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody, yeah, I didn't need to hear anybody's opinion. I just formulated my own opinion of what I see in the space, and that's been working out so far. So I would encourage because I don't think people are dumb. I think most people that are in this space are actually quite intelligent. So it's better to formulate your own opinion, use your own criteria,
Hmm.
and yeah, I think you're going to be a lot more successful like that.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's like I would never say there's anyone really dumb. It just depends on their intentions, right? Most markets are gonna have people that are gonna have good intentions and bad intentions. It depends on the person and who they are, the values are. Well, yeah, thanks for putting that like that. So we're gonna hit. That was basically most of the points we wanted to hit, but we do anything else you want to talk about? The passive yield NFTs. Anything else you want to talk about?
Uh, and it's also fun. Like, I know I'm talking like monetarily wise, just like, oh, we're making money here,
Yeah.
but you're also it's the same thing as any other NFTs. You're also part of a community.
Okay.
Like, well, I'm a fan because I'm a millennial, but like one of the persons that's big in the anonymized community is
Mm.
actually Andy Milonakis, where he used to have a
Oh,
show on
yeah.
MTV. So
He's big on
yeah,
Twitch
you
too.
oh yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't even know that. But yeah, I used to watch his show. I always thought he was funny when I was like a kid. So
Yeah.
yeah, the fact that
He a
I can just
legend.
openly yeah, I can just openly talk to him or get on
Ooh.
Twitter Spaces and ask him a question. You're part of that community. There's a lot more people getting into NFTs, and also you meet great people besides celebrities
Yeah.
or influencers. You also get to meet some really cool people, and I think that's also one of the biggest upsides besides just the money is that you get to kind of create connections and
Yeah.
network.
Networking is yeah. It's like the path there makes you friends, the community and all that, right? It's basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and since I mean nobody's the same. Everybody does different jobs as far as like they come from different walks of life.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, there's always a lot. There's always something to learn, you know,
Hmm.
or something somebody can teach you. So I think that's fun as well.
Yeah, and to bring about Andy on Twitch, he used, I don't know if he streams anymore because I haven't really kept up with Twitch, but he would stream like he would go on the street and stream, which was called IRL streaming at the time. I don't know how big he is now, but he was pretty big when I was watching him. So that's how I was introduced to Andy Minakis, by the way. Just to clear it. I didn't really see his show, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect you. You're a little younger than me,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, I mean, he's just a normal dude, you know? Like, if you talk to him like a normal dude, you're not a fucking douchebag. I mean, it's just like, don't treat these people like they're something special or above you either, you know?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's better than you. Don't let any influencer and don't let any celebrity make you feel like you're under them. Like, everybody's normal, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody's the same, and especially in this community, like, everybody is you can always contribute. You know, you can always contribute your opinion. You can always contribute your work. Um,
Yeah.
there's always something to do, and you can be valuable in any NFT community. So
That's cool. All right, man. Just doing to wrap it up. What else is going on in the NFT market? Anything else you want to bring up about the market? How it's doing right now?
I think it's pretty healthy. I think it's pretty healthy. There's certain projects. Cool Cats is doing great. You know, I just saw that they hit a 10th floor. Subducks have been doing amazing. You know, I think they were at 1 Ethereum. I think they're over 4 Ethereum now. Haven't
Whoa.
checked, but yeah,
That's
a
cool.
lot of projects right now. You know, Board API Club. I mean, they're holding steady. We just had our had our roadmap announced, but I don't think we'll see any price appreciation until like some of these things like start coming to light. You know,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I mean, I think right now is a good time to get in, you know, to certain
Mm.
projects. Now, I wouldn't say all of them because some of them have pumped a lot,
Yeah.
but there's definitely a lot of projects or a lot of opportunities, even some that I'm not aware of, I'm pretty sure. So,
Yeah. There's a lot right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, every day there's something new, but
Just,
there's always that one gem, you know, that one fucking thing that it's like these anonymize. These were fucking free.
they were free.
They were
Oh,
free. The first 2,000 were free.
that hurts
Right
my
now
soul.
they're almost 5 Ethereum, but yeah, they were free. You could be Joe Schmo with no fucking money, and you could have
Yeah,
gotten these for free. And I'm not sure if there was even a cap of how many you could get.
that's
But
crazy. Even if you get one, that's already like whoa. Like,
yeah, like
yeah.
you got these for free. There's no royalties. The developers basically made it so there's no royalties once you sell.
Uh-huh.
That's why I really like this project. It's not me pumping my own back. It's just I feel like not many developers right now would do this. A lot of people are just looking for that money, you know, that Ethereum, that free,
Yeah.
and for the developers of Anonymize to kind of let go of that, you know, let go of that opportunity to make
Mm.
lots of money because it was a cool project, even if they did charge.
Yeah.
But for them to not charge anything for you to get them, and then on secondary sales, they're just doing this out of their own passion. And you can see it because the project is fucking amazing. Everything's on chain. The way they wrote the contract, I mean, I'm not somebody that gets technical, but people I've heard that, wow, like this is fucking crazy. There's some people that said like there's only a few, you can count the people in probably like people in one hand of that they can execute like a contract where everything's on chain, where you can stake the mice, where you the image is stored on chain as well. Like, so I don't know.
That's interesting.
There's yeah, and it's not that old. It's like 7 days old, I think. So I mean, if you were
Yeah.
looking in the market 7 days ago and you came upon this, which a lot of people did in the community,
Mm-hmm.
basically didn't spend anything, and right now they're sitting on thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars,
That's
just
crazy.
like that.
Gotta keep our eye
So
open, bro, for the next project that's free.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
mean,
crazy.
for me, I sometimes, you know, I get a little lazy and I'm like, "Ah, I'm not gonna fucking bother with looking." But I mean, there's always opportunities. There's
Mm-hmm.
always opportunities. There's something. There's always a fucking gem somewhere. And if you're willing to kind of put in the work, or you're not gonna find all of them, obviously. But if you put yourself in the right position where the information can somehow get to you,
Mm-hmm.
you're definitely gonna stumble one day upon a gem, and that's definitely an opportunity I wouldn't forego.
That's cool, man. That's interesting. That's just mind-boggling for me right now that they were free. And look at them now, like, oh, dude, that's crazy. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, man. Like if you're on your toes in this, well, if you're on your toes, mostly anything, you always will be first on the big thing. So that's crazy that some people actually got them for free. Like that's cool.
yeah, it's fucking insane. Like I'm such a fan, you know.
Yeah.
I always had it like my board ape yacht club. I'm never letting that go,
Uh huh.
you know, because I love the community and all that. But I was so tempted, you know, because like somebody was offering me like 21 mice with different rarities, and I was so tempted to do. I didn't do it, but for a project to tempt me that much to trade my board ape
Yeah.
for something that's so new, especially and not, I wouldn't say proven yet,
Uh huh.
it's crazy. So I mean, and there's other projects that are gonna be like that. So definitely keep a lookout for that.
Nice, nice. That's cool, bro. Anything else you want to bring up, man?
No, I think that's it. I mean, there's a lot happening in NFT market, but obviously we can't go over everything. And like I said, right now, this podcast is about basically two opinions.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert by any means. I know I stumble upon my words a lot. I don't have always the right information, but it's just um, basically how we look at the market, or at least how I look at it, and it's just my honest opinion. It can always change, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe I can next podcast I can be like, oh, Anonymize, they rugged us. It's a piece of shit project, you know. So that's why I say like be careful when you invest. Be
Yeah.
careful and always try to find the right information. But we can help you in any way, then that's a
Yeah.
plus for us as well.
Don't forget, if you guys have any questions, just shoot me or Salvi tag on Twitter. You could DM me. I don't know about how Salvi feels about that. Like, we're willing to help you guys out. I'm not really an expert, but if you have a question, I'll hit up Salvi and let him know right away. Like, oh, this person has this question about any of this, because we're just trying to share the information that we know. Well, basically, Salvi is the one that knows. I'm just here tagging along. Uh, but yeah, like, what's your Twitter again, Salvi? Give it a shout out.
Um, at no, I think it's Selvey_art.
Okay. That's his Twitter. If you guys want to go ahead and tag him and ask him a question, mine is Fixter_7. Go ahead and shoot us tag us and we'll go ahead and answer them. Also, if you guys have any questions that you guys want us to talk about in the next video or the next podcast, go ahead and shoot them in the comments or shoot us. Like I said, go ahead and shoot us and tag us on Twitter.
Yeah, or
Uh,
any projects that you guys are in that you guys want us to talk about or give you opinions on, you can just put them in the comments or send a DM to Fig over there or me, and we can definitely talk about it on the next podcast.
yeah. And that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening. We're gonna go ahead and see how it goes. And like he said, next week we might have different opinions. Everything could change in this market. Be careful. Um, Educate yourself before you invest. That's my recommendation. Selby's recommendation, most likely. Well, any last words, Selby?
No, no, thank you for listening for to us, and then yeah, we'll see you on the next podcast.
Uh,
You guys take care.
Later.